Hi Yins, happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, February 27th, 2019. Hope you're all having a great week. I'm doing pretty well this week. It has been a steady, busy week here in New Jersey, and work and life and stitching and crafting and everything in between. So we're going to jump right into it. Lots going on, so not a whole lot of really to update in life. Just busy with work and grad school and everything in between. So I'm trying to think if there was anything exciting this week. No, not really. I did get in the mail a nice gift. A while back, a viewer contacted me through Instagram and said, I was at my local thrift shop and saw this and only wanted the fabric out of the kit. So, and I thought of you immediately. And her name is Shannon. She sent a nice card, and we had a nice conversation. And so I wanted to thank Shannon in person on my video. She sent me this kit. She immediately thought of me, and as soon as I show you, you'll see why. So it's everything except for the fabric. So it has the threads and the chart. It is gnomes and instruments and mushrooms. Everything I love. So thank you very much, Shannon. Someday this will be stitched up. The gnomes have a little bit of a creepy face, so I might have to do a little bit of changing, but who knows? Maybe I'll keep the creepiness. I don't know. Thank you. So, thank you all of you who participated in my giveaway on my Instagram page for Ginger Gerald Designs. We had a wonderful turnout for that. The giveaway winner was announced on Instagram on Monday morning because life got in the way Sunday night. So Monday morning I did do the announcement on Instagram, and the winner has already received her PDF pattern. More patterns will be given away in the future and other wonderful fun things. So if you are interested in participating and following along for fun announcements and everything of the like, please make sure to follow me on Instagram, Ginger Gerald Designs. That's ginger.gerald.designs. And you can get all of my shop updates and everything there, because that is going to be the main place that I do anything shop related for updates other than here on YouTube. Of course, you can always follow me on Instagram for my personal stitching and crafting and everything goodness, because that might include gardening and architecture and everything else that I enjoy, and that's Ginger Gerald Stitcher, ginger.gerald.stitcher. So make sure you do that if you're interested as well. So I'd love to follow you along as well on there, so make sure you follow me so I can follow you. I also want to thank all of you who have watched my videos on my gardening series, which is going to be, I don't think it's going to be a hugely frequent series, but I am calling it a series because I do have some ideas for apartment style gardening, at least how I do apartment style gardening. It might be very different from what all of you do as far as gardening. If you are a gardener, I have limited space here. I live on the second floor, so I don't have a yard that I can garden in. So I am limited to what I can do. Also, I have wild critters that come to my patio and eat, so I'm limited to what I can put out on my balcony because they will dig in my pots. So with that, there will be more gardening and nature type videos to come in the future, just because that's something I really enjoy and love to do. and thought that that would be another great avenue to go down on my channel. So, hope you enjoy that, and let me know if you're interested and what kind of videos you'd also be interested in around that area. I know one person commented and asked about some African violets. I have never grown an African violet, but my grandmother used to have multitudes of African violets on her windowsill. So maybe I will down the road. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I also have limited space in my house, so I have to watch that I don't go crazy with what kind of plants I buy and how many, because if it were up to me, I would have an entire dining room full of plants and I wouldn't have room for a table. So as much as I would love to do that, I don't want to do that. So we're going to do the best I can with what space I have for the time being. And I'm going to sneeze now, so hold on a second, please. Excuse me. Real life people. Okay, we're going to jump right into the stitching. We're going to start with stitching, switching it up a little bit as I sneeze here again. Excuse me. Okay, I am ready now. So, this week I have done a little bit of a couple different patterns that I've worked on, actually 2 patterns. Last Saturday I worked on my Winter's Wisdom by Cottage Garden Sampling for my Stitch With Me or Craft With Me, as well as I worked on this a little bit more last night. And then I kind of got like, I don't really want to do it. So there is my progress that I've done so far. All I did this week was filled in this section of branch with the lighter color, which you're really not going to be able to see the different tone of color. This is on 56 count pale drapple. And honestly, the color is really getting washed out by the light. So this is 56 count pale drapple 1/2. We're using the called for DMC. The pattern calls for DMC or Weeks Dye Works. I'm using the DMC because I don't have many Weeks Dye Works, but I have the entire set of DMC. So that is what I'm doing. So far, I like 56 count. I don't have a problem stitching on it. I think I tend to prefer 42 count better than 56 count. And the reason is because there's a lot of people that say that they prefer one type of linen over the other because they think that their stitches lay better on one style of linen over the other. I'm starting to find that with the 42 versus the 56. For me, I think my stitches lay better on the 42 count than they do on the 56 count. Not because I can see better, because I can see perfectly fine on either, on both. It's the fact that I think just with the way that the weave is and everything, and both my 42 and 56 come from the same dyer, so that isn't any change in the style. I think it's just that the 56 has a little bit different of a weave pattern, and so far this is the very first time I've ever stitched on 56 count. It's not a deal breaker. It's not that I wouldn't ever stitch on 56 again. I definitely like the smallness of 56 count, but I do like the way my stitches lay better on 42 so far. It could also just be the way that these browns are laying compared to other colors. So once I get into the other colors, I'll give you a better idea of what I'm thinking. So that is Winter's Wisdom by Cottage Garden Sampling. And if you remember, I am only doing the branch and the pine cones, the birds, and the word wisdom. There we go. Okay. Then my main project that I've been working on is my Jacobean Designs Jacobean Bell Pull by Leisure Arts. This is a leaflet number 170 from 1980. And last week I had said about I was surprised that back in 1980 they even had color charts, and somebody jokingly commented, yes, we did have color charts back then. You don't know, because most of the charts that you commonly hear from the 70s and 80s are hand drawn. So the fact that there's color, it's surprising. I wouldn't know. I wasn't stitching in the 80s, so just assuming. Anyways, I started from the bottom. I'm working my way up, and this week I was able to complete the second page of the design. And here is the design as is so far. This is on a 40 count Verdal even weave. Zweigart Verdal even weave that I personally coffee dyed. And there is page 2. And what I'm calling this, because I started from the bottom working my way up, I'm calling this page 1, page 2. So I started page 1, I did page 2, and yes, I did go into page 3. Page 3 is everything from here up. I think it's like here up. Only because I wanted to go ahead. There was a certain, if you look at the pattern, you can tell like these branches, it's like a perfect place to stop right there. So I went ahead and did those branches up to that section on page 3. So that is the Jacobean Designs. Using the called for DMC. And I'm ready to scroll up. So I will say this blackwork branch, I hate. I love the way it looks. I did not enjoy stitching it. I do not enjoy stitching that branch. It's fiddly. I love all the other blackwork. I do not enjoy stitching that branch or that vine. But it ends on the next page, so that will be done in the next page. The farther I go up, the less stitching there is on each page. So this one is going much quicker than anticipated, and each time I pull it out, I plan on finishing a page each time. So there we go. That is my Jacobean Designs. And so my plans for stitching, that's all I've worked on this week. My plans for stitching are to actually, Henry is now on the frame. So he is ready to go to get started on the next page. I'm really just urging to get another page finished on him. I think because I'm on that last row of pages, I really want to get a finish with Henry. So don't be surprised in my upcoming videos if we see a lot more Henry, because I'm itching for a finish. Finally, my knitting. I've only really knitted on one thing this week, and that is my Pearl Soho scarf. That is the diagonal pinstripe scarf. And here is my progress. So this is a garter stitch scarf. Here we go. Let me get that out of the way. There's the bottom. I'm knitting this in Knit Picks Palette fingering weight yarn. The main color is pumice heather, and the stripes are knit in brass heather. And the stripes are knit as you freely want to knit them, and so that is where I am at today. So I moved my thing, my progress keeper, to that. This is where I started today, and so we'll see how far up I get in 1 week's time. So I'm not going to move him again until next Wednesday's video, so we can see how much I get done this week. So I have, and this pattern, there is no set length or on how long you make it, so it's really one of those free form, go as you please type patterns. So I want it to be nice and long, so I'm guessing I might have a fourth of the pattern done. I want it nice and long so I have plenty to wrap around my neck, fold over, do what I want with as I wear it. So we'll see. I'm going with the flow. No stress. So that is my knitting for the week. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I will see you on Saturday for a craft with me video. And until then, don't forget to always be creative.